Hello, everybody. Welcome to From Darkness to Life Recovery Coaching on YouTube. And a happier you leads to a healthier you on my podcast on Spreaker.com. I'm your host. By now, y'all should know what my name is by now. Thank you guys for joining me for this episode. For those of y'all who will see it now, and those of you that will see this later. If you guys are interested in one-on-one coaching, or you're interested in just sending me emails as far as things that you're going through when it comes to health issues that you would like for me to talk about, or if you have a story that you would like for me to basically talk about or on my podcast, or if you want to be a guest on my podcast, you can email me at asha.mariama01@gmail.com. That's asha.mariama01@gmail.com. And on my actual podcast, you can also hit me up based upon that name, and all of my podcasts will come up. My podcasts are also on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and multiple other streaming companies as well. A little about me: I am a certified recovery life coach that's all about helping people on their paths and their journeys to a new and better you through self discovery. Now, today, we're going to talk about the fact of the matter of hidden pain, chronic pain, illnesses, and diseases in particular. There are millions of people that are suffering right now because of chronic pain. Chronic pain is stalling their lives in such a major way. It's not even funny how it is making people's lives just stop. There are people that can't even get out the bed in the morning because they're just in so much pain. There are people that can't even drive anymore because of anxiety that's coming from physical pain. People think that anxiety is just mental, but no, anxiety can also be physical as well. You got people that are going through depression and anxiety again because of the pain that they're going through and the suffering that they feel. Nobody understands what it's like to live with an illness that's incurable, or you have stage 4 cancer or stage 3 cancer or even 1 or 2 cancer. It's to the point now that cancer is in children in a higher rate. You got kids in their 20s that are dealing with stomach issues and dealing with stomach diseases and fibroids and thyroids and dealing with issues with hernias and all of these different things that are going on right now that's causing us chronic pain is absolutely insane. It's a shame that during the stories of the Bible, people lived to 900 and to 1,000 years, and yet we can't even live to 100 at this point. And it's just going to continue to get lower and lower until something is done. I remember how my chronic pain started. Mine was, I've always had scoliosis. I just didn't know I had it because when I got older, they told me I didn't have scoliosis. And I just found out from a chiropractor 4 years ago that I have scoliosis. I also found that I have arthritis through my whole entire body. And I have a neck injury, something going on with my neck. And then I had throat issues. I have stomach issues. Um, I thought I was going to end up having breast cancer, but knock on wood, that didn't happen. Um, I was also dealing with being alone and being a single mother and raising a child with autism. So I have a lot going on. And I saw my health deteriorate to the point that I had to go to the emergency room because I had an infection that almost could have unalived me. And they had to do emergency gallbladder surgery with no insurance. It's really amazing how there are so many holistic treatments that could heal so many people, but yet the United States won't allow holistic treatments because it interferes um, with the pharmaceutical companies. You go to the doctor and they tell you, oh, we're just going to give you gabapentin. We're just going to give you oxycodone. We're just going to give you tramadols. And that's all we can do. These medications are just temporary. The pain ain't going to do nothing but move for somewhere else. And as someone that has chronic pain, my pain, let's say, for example, I take an aspirin, right? Or I take Motrin, or I take a Aleve, or I take any medication over the counter. That pain is going to go from one place to another place, to another place, to another place. It constantly moves. Pain doesn't go anywhere. Once pain hits your body, it's going to stay there. No differently than parasites. Once parasites hit your body, you have to literally do a cleanse to get rid of them. But pain is different because pain has so many places it can hide, so many places that it can be, that you may think, okay, I'm going to wake up in the morning after taking these Motrin and I'm not going to have any pain at all. I'm going to basically wake up and the pain's going to go away, but it doesn't. What's worse is the side effects are worse than the actual medication. It's no different in food when you see all the ingredients and then you see the other ingredients and you find out that all of the other ingredients are way more unhealthy than the actual ingredients that you actually have in the very top part of it. A lot of stuff that's going in our systems when we eat, we're not supposed to be eating or digesting. Why do you think 160 countries will never accept American food? If 160 countries will never accept our food, you mean to tell me that's not a problem? I would think it would be a problem. At the end of the day, it's a lot of people that have chronic pain from multiple reasons. It can be everything from slips and falls to a car accident to domestic violence to abuse in general. It can be that you bumped into something. But regardless of what it is, when we first have these things happen, we think that because we got up and we got through it, that we're okay. But what you don't understand is those injuries, they add up. So externally, you may not see the bruises. Externally, you might be fine because you don't see the bruises. But internally, you're in pain. And that's like they tell you, oh, when you have a baby, you got to be out for 6 weeks. It's going to take you longer than 6 weeks to heal. Longer than that. It's just like when you have a surgery. They'll tell you, oh, you can go back to work in 6 weeks. No, you can't. You can't go back in 6 weeks. You're still in pain. You're not 100%. But they want you to go back to work so bad that they're telling you, oh, it'll just take 6 weeks to heal. It'll take 6 weeks just for your Achilles heel to heal, your broken arm, your broken leg, your sprained ankle to heal. It won't take that long. It won't take that long for you to be okay, when in all actuality, it's going to take longer. The healing process is not based upon our time. It's based on however time it's going to take to heal. It can take months. It can take years. There are so many people that are still suffering with mental health issues. It's just like people with disabilities, and this what irks my nerves about these politicians. They act like people with disabilities don't exist. Like people with disabilities, you just send them to school, pass them through. They didn't learn nothing. The situation still isn't resolved. You got kids that when George W. Bush put No Child Left Behind, passed these kids on and they don't know nothing. Half of these kids don't even have but a fourth grade reading. That's how much they don't care. But you got millions of people that have chronic pain, and because they can't see the pain in these x-rays or all of these different things that they do, it's like, okay, There's nothing wrong with you. We're just gonna send you home. Then they ask you, do you need to see a psychiatrist? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Maybe it's in your head, the pain. How you gonna tell me what's in my head when I'm sitting up here hurting? True story. I couldn't walk. I had a situation where I couldn't walk, and I had went to work that day, and I was in a lot of pain. Went to the doctor's office, went to the urgent care, and they told me they couldn't find anything. And I knew something was wrong. I got to the counter to check out. I couldn't move. I could not move, couldn't do nothing. My ex had to literally take me to the emergency room. And for 2 weeks, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. And they were trying to go through all of these things, and they couldn't find anything within a couple of days. No, the first time they kept me for 2 weeks, and they found that the blood was not going through my body the way it was supposed to be, and that I may have to take blood medication. Second time it happened was because of something that I had acid reflux. I didn't have any acid reflux pills at the time. At the time, I didn't even know I had acid reflux. So I ended up having acid reflux, and I couldn't breathe. They told me to drink some what was it, baking soda, baking powder. Well, it made it worse because it made me go into electric shock. Went into electric shock, had to go to the emergency room. When I got there, I couldn't move my arms or legs. Don't know why, just couldn't move them. Told them about my history, told them not to move me. They moved me anyway, and I ended up not being able to walk. Was in the hospital 4 days, and before the neurologist could get there, they told me I'm lying about my condition. And so they kicked me out the hospital. 10 hours later, went to another hospital an hour away just for them to tell me I was misdiagnosed. Just to find out I had 2 bulging discs in my back. 2 bulging discs in my back. And arthritis. So imagine going to one hospital and them telling you, oh, there's nothing wrong. It's all in your head. You need to see a therapist. To go to another hospital and they look at the same records that you looked at, and you find out, no, something is wrong. I was supposed to go back, but I couldn't because I didn't have any insurance. So let's talk about it from that perspective. People that are going through illnesses and diseases that don't have any insurance. The way that people are treated that don't have insurance is not even funny. I was in a hospital, and I remember this one guy was right beside me. And I thought that I was going to pure T pass away. That's how bad it was. And the person next to me ended up passing away. February of 2020, I'll never forget this because every time Kobe and his daughter, every year, I think about my situation. I was in the hospital having emergency gallbladder surgery when Kobe Bryant passed away. I was in the hospital recovering when that happened. And I said to myself, what if that had been me? What if I would have gotten a plane and that would have been me? Some of y'all don't understand that it could be you and somebody else is spared. That's why every time when Kobe's anniversary comes up, I think about when I had gallbladder surgery. Because I almost could have passed away myself because they told me if I wouldn't have got to that hospital when I did, I would have passed away. And you know what was worse? They didn't even want to treat me. They didn't even want to do anything because I didn't have any insurance. And it's sad that when you don't have insurance, you can't get treatment. And even when you do have insurance, if your insurance don't cover it, they're not going to do it. That's why now when you go to the hospital, they tell you have to see your doctor and you have to see all these outside doctors. And the sad part about it is if they don't find anything, they'll think something is wrong. You got people that had to go all the way to Mexico just so they could get treatment for cancer, and it's not seen at all. A friend of mine did a documentary about cancer a few years ago when I first met him. And they went to Mexico and they showed the way they did their treatments. And these people came back cancer free, no cancer at all. But yet, here, the first thing they want to do is give you chemo. And you want to know how they got off of far as cancer? They changed their diets. They had healthier foods in where they were in Mexico. The food had no chemicals, none of that. And they were cancer free. There was a woman that had stage 4 cancer that probably didn't even have that long to live and was cancer free. There was a young lady that went all the way to Turkey to get treatment. And they did all of these tests, every single test that you could do for $810 US dollars. $810, you can get all of these tests done. You can get your teeth done, everything done that you want done there for $810, which wasn't bad. And they told her things that she didn't even know was wrong with her. So at the end of the day, when you are someone that's going through illnesses, diseases, or chronic pain, don't let these doctors tell you there ain't nothing wrong. You know your body better than anybody. If you got to go out of the country to go get treatment, go out of the country and go get treatment. I remember that documentary that I think his name is Mr. Michael Bay, I think his name was. I'm not sure. But he's the one that did the actual documentary called Sicko, where he took a bunch of people from America to Canada and they got to get all these x-rays done for free. And they also got to get medications for free. There are a lot of people, especially in coaching, that basically do herbal coaching. And they also have holistic treatments. And I remember Dr. Sebi as well, when Dr. Sebi was able to not only cure HIV, but he was also able to cure herpes. And a lot of people didn't want to believe that that was possible, but it was. There's 3 doctors, and one is even under the age of 18, that has came up with treatments that will cure cancer. But yet and still, none of these treatments are in the United States. You got to go out of the country just to get it. If you start looking outside of the United States, you will be amazed how many people are going through the same thing as you and actually got treatments and actually now are fine. There was somebody that did a whole entire TV series on people that had these weird illnesses and nobody could explain what they were. And these people ended up getting treatment. There were people in Africa that had these diseases that I never heard of. And because they couldn't afford to get treatment, some of them were able to get help because people donated to get them help. Others of them didn't make it. I've seen kids go through diseases that were way worse than over here, and they're still surviving. What's even more crazier is they just recalled a bunch of food because it has salmonella and all these different things, bacterias that are making people sick. It is to the point you can't even go on the beach because there's bacterias that are unaliving people. So now we're not just dealing with COVID. We're not just dealing with monkeypox. Now we're dealing with bacterias that's in your tap water, that's in all these different waters. It's to the point now, before you even drink water, you're going to have to boil it. But when it comes to chronic pain, even though, yes, it's unexplained, but at the end of the day, millions of people are suffering because of it. And it can be everything from a simple slip and fall, car accident, domestic violence, when somebody puts their hands on you. So even though you don't see damage, it don't mean that you're not going through pain. Because once pain hits you physically, it ain't going nowhere. It ain't never going to leave you. No matter how many medications you take, it ain't going nowhere. It will find somewhere to move. And that's how I learned about how chronic pain physically how to help people with mental health issues. Because a person that's dealing with an illness is no different than somebody dealing with somebody from depression. The only difference is with mental health issues, it can be treated. And I'm not talking about with medication, I'm talking about just dealing with it. If the person faces what they went through and they went back and they learned from their mistake, a lot of people mental health wise will be fine. But people with chronic pain have to live with it. And y'all wonder why people who have chronic pain and illnesses and diseases don't feel sorry for y'all. We don't feel sorry for people that's going through breakups. That's not the end all be all. You try living with pain every day. From the fact that somebody that hit you. I had 2 car accidents, not even an hour apart. No, not even 8 hours apart. I had just left the hospital and got into another car accident. Not even including slips and falls. When jobs make you come into work and it's snowing outside. I'm not going. I slipped off a porch twice trying to go to work in the snow. Never do it again. Never will I do that. You have people that even though you go through domestic violence and internally those bruises heal, internally they don't. Because it's not just about the external, it's about the internal. The internal is the hardest to heal. So when you're healing, you can't time how long somebody is going to be sick. You can't time how long somebody going to have the flu. Some people can have the flu for 2 weeks. Some people can have COVID for a long period of time. So you can't determine how long somebody's going to have chronic pain. You can't time that. You can't time how long somebody's going to deal with depression or anxiety. You can't time that. Because there is physical and there is mental anxiety. A person can be physically fine, but if they're sitting in a car and they have chronic pain, they can go into a panic attack. If you don't get enough sleep, you can have a panic attack in the car because you're not getting enough sleep. You can have a panic attack just because you took something that caused an allergic reaction. The worst pain for me is my throat, my neck. My neck and my throat are the worst pain you could ever have. It is like a nightmare. And it just will not go away. My whole entire neck and the back of my neck hurts. My throat hurts. I have to go to an ears, nose, and throat doctor. Excuse me, to figure out what's going on. But I'm here to tell you, pain is going to find a way to move, and it's going to move no differently than parasites do. Parasites, you literally have to take something to cleanse it to make it better. But at least with parasites, if you do a cleanse, it will get rid of the parasite. But that don't mean the eggs still won't be there. So when you do a parasite cleanse, you also need to basically cleanse out the eggs. Now, it don't mean parasites won't come back, because if you're still eating the same foods and you're still digesting the same things, those parasites are going to come right back. Just like bacteria. You know, bacteria can come from anywhere. And you don't know how that bacteria is going to affect you, which is why they give you antibiotics. Now, I need people to understand antibiotics is great because antibiotics will cleanse out any bacteria that you got in your system. It will cleanse it all out, which is why when you take an antibiotic, you're so out of it. And the reason why you're so out of it, because that antibiotic is cleansing out all of the bacteria throughout your body. So if you take an antibiotic and it goes through your whole entire body, it's not only going to help when you get a toothache or when you have surgery, it's also going to help every single part of you when it comes to parasites and when it comes to bacteria infections. Now, you got people that are suffering from cancer that don't have that long to live. So when I sit here and I hear all these people on social media talking about these issues y'all got, try being in my shoes. You think I'm worried about a man right now considering the fact I have chronic pain? You think I'm worried about whether I got friends or not considering that right now I'm hurting every single solitary day? A friend of mine just sent me a video of a woman that is fighting with chronic pain. And there's different types of chronic pain. There's not just one, there's multiple. But at the end of the day, like I said, this is why I became a life coach in the first place, because recovery is not something that is my time, it's not your time, it's not everybody else's time, it's your body's time. And you can't rush that process. Just like chronic pain is in your body the rest of your life, guess what? You're going to have different types of pain because we're in a world full of negativity. And because we're in a world full of negativity, you're really going to be hit in some way, one way or another. Whether it's physical pain, mental pain, psychological pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain, or whether or not it's financial, you're going to get hit somewhere. But all of those things can be fixed. But the one thing that can't be fixed is physical chronic pain. That's one thing that can't be fixed. There are people that can't even pick up a pencil. There are people that feel like they are an invalid to their family. There are people that got young kids and they can't even pick their kids up to change diapers. You got people that just to be able to get out of bed in the morning is an accomplishment. Just to be able to shower yourself is an accomplishment. Nerve, joint, and muscle damage is the worst. It really is. And the sad part about it is, even if we take medication that'll work in one area, it's going to move somewhere else and be pain somewhere else. Like today, my neck hurts. Tomorrow, it'll be my back. Tomorrow, it'll be my shoulders. Tomorrow, it'll be my feet the next day. It moves. So if I take Motrin, it might stop this pain. But guess what? It's going to go all the way down to my back. And then the stiffness and the numbness and just the, I want to get in my car and drive. I can't drive because my neck hurts. You got to wait 2 or 3 months just to be seen. And then when I went to get my throat looked at, because I've been having throat issues for the past 20 years, they're just now telling me, and I've been telling them I think something's stuck in my throat, been telling them that for the longest, and nothing's been done yet. So I want y'all to understand that chronic pain is not something that is easy to deal with. And it ain't for the faint of heart. You want to know how strong you are? Try having chronic pain. Try that and see how you feel. Try every day being in pain that is so unbearable. All you want to do is just lay down. All you want to do is sleep. You can't even get a good night's sleep because you're in so much pain. And what's worse is you got people that want to commit suicide, people that get addicted to pills. So there are different reasons why people end up addicted to drugs, but mainly it's to stop the pain. That's why people are addicted to drugs, whether it's heroin, cocaine, whether it's prescription drugs, whether it's Molly, whether it's marijuana, regardless of what it is. That's the reason why you have addictions, because you're trying to stop a pain. You're tired of hurting. Just like people that commit suicide, they're tired of hurting. They're tired of being in pain. They're tired of being told they're not good enough. They're not worthy. So I do understand why it happens. The question is, how do we stop it? I've learned to live with the pain. I've learned to not let the pain define me. So yeah, I have my good days. I have my bad days. But guess what I do? I get up and I exercise. And even though I be hurting, I just want to cry, and I be in excruciating pain, I still exercise. Even if it's for 15 minutes, even if it's just for 20 minutes, Even if it's just that I've learned that pain of exercising is gonna hurt like hell. Excuse my language. But the more I exercise, the better I feel. And I have to continue to exercise, because if I don't, then I'll go right back to chronic pain. So I have to continue exercising. Even if it means just doing stepping. Even that means just getting on a treadmill and walking for 5 or 10 minutes. At least I'm doing something. I've learned to live with the pain. I've learned to make the pain a part of me. And yeah, I get up and I be hurting and I be hurt. But guess what? I'm going to get up because I'm not letting this pain defeat me. I pray every day. I tell God, look, if Jesus can go through being crucified, if Jesus can go through being resurrected from the dead, I know I can handle this pain. I am not letting this pain define me. I'm going to continue to fight. And that's exactly what I intend to do. I intend to keep fighting. I'm not going to let anything waver my faith in God. And I'm still here. And I'm still alive. And I became a life coach because I understand pain better than anybody. I understand every single solitary bit of pain, emotional pain, mental pain, psychological pain. Been there, done that. I've been through every negative thing of pain you can go through except death. I've been through it all. But guess what? I'm still here. I'm not going to let this pain stop me from being the best version of myself. I'm not going to let this pain keep me from living. So if I got to get up for 30 minutes and exercise, get up and walk, if I got to change my diet, if I have to keep on researching and learning and learning, herbal treatments, learning holistic treatments, then that's what I'm going to do. If I got to go to Dr. Sebi and go sit in a stream and heal, then that's what I'm going to do. If I have to travel all the way to Turkey to go find out what's going on with me and for them to tell me what they can do to treat it, I'm going. If I got to go to Mexico to get treatment for cancer, guess what? I'm going. I will spend the money to go. However much it's going to take to stop my pain, I'm going to do it. There's no amount of money in the world that is not worth me getting better. But I have made this pain a part of me. I've made all my flaws and imperfections a part of me. And now that I've done that, honey, I'm unstoppable even with this pain. But I have my bad days where I just want to just lay in bed like that. I have my Sabbath day, my weekends when I lay in bed most of the day. But I still get up. I still clean to the best of my ability. I still will do what I can. And when I can't, I stop. And I'm by myself. I have nobody. I have no husband. So who do I have? Just me. So it's okay that we're dealing with this. But what I've learned is when you get away from the sugar, you get away from the sweets, you get away from you can tone down the inflammation and the insulin and the cortisol levels, you'll see how much that pain goes away. Because I'll give you an example. I had coffee yesterday, and I ended up putting sugar in it because I didn't think it was sweet enough. And so I put sugar in it. As soon as I drank that coffee, I felt horrible. I felt stiff. I felt I was hurting. And I said, no more. So today I got some tea. I got some Annika tea. I went and I said, you know what? I'm going to get on Amazon and TikTok. I'm going to find some joint medication. So I found some apple cider vinegar for my weight. Cause I know weight is also a reason for pain. So I said, you know what? I'm getting this weight off me. I'm gonna lose 40 pounds by January. And I'm not gonna rest until this weight come off of me. Because I know that's the biggest problem I got. Weight. I'm going to not have sugar unless my sugar is low. I'm going to try to keep my insulin down, my cortisol levels down. My blood pressure has been good, but my goal is to get off blood pressure pills altogether. Now I have this diet where I eat protein. And so what's even worse is all these recalls as far as food is concerned. It's really hard to figure out what to eat, especially when you have these issues of other ingredients in your stuff. And then I saw somebody that actually made their own deli meat. I said, you know what? I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook. So tomorrow, I have some hamburger. I have some chicken meat. I don't eat red meat unless I have steak. And if I have steak, it's got to be lean meat because I have no gallbladder. So everything I eat has to be lean, which is fine. I'm also gonna make today, if I don't make it in a few minutes, a salad and some soup. That's it. I eat twice a day. I'm probably gonna try to work out today. So I am finding what works for me. Don't get me wrong, I hear a lot of people. I really do. And I hear people every day giving different tips on how to be healthy. But what I say is find what works for you. Let me see if I can pull up on my TikTok shop. I don't even think I can because I ain't logged into it. Hold on. I don't think I'm logged into it, or the right one anyway. Let me see which one it is. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm gonna see which one it is, and I'm gonna show y'all what I actually ordered. I don't know which one it is, but I wish I knew which one it actually was, but I don't know. But I ordered from, let me see if I can remember. I wish I could pull it up based upon my email address. But hold on. Let me see if I can okay, they got something new on TikTok. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find my, I may not be able to, but let me see if I can find a TikTok. I don't know why they don't have a TikTok shop on here. Normally they have the TikTok shop, but I guess you only can do it from your phone. So give me a second. Because normally you can go on the TikTok shop, but unfortunately they don't have it on the actual computer. You got to do it through your phone as far as a TikTok shop. I've never understood why that is. But let me see if I can pull up Amazon and I can show you what I bought for myself. Let's see. Okay, is this my, okay, let me sign in. Give me a second. Let me see what the code is, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to sign in. Okay. I'm going to show y'all what I bought from Amazon. And I'm going to show you why I bought it. Give me a second. Because chronic pain ain't nothing to play around with. And with chronic pain, you're going to have to take multiple different medications. You just can't take one. All right. So this is my tick. This is my Amazon and what I'm looking for. Okay. Amazon new release. All right, let me see if they have what I bought. Okay, or return orders. Okay, here we go. All right, this is some of the stuff I bought. Okay, now this is what I bought. This is the first thing I bought, and there's a reason why I bought this. This is Aswana tea, right? Aswana tea is good for you for a number of reasons, and it's rich in antioxidants. It boosts in energy. It's also a great stress tea that's great for stress, and it helps with cortisol levels. So if you drink this tea every single evening before you go to bed, I don't recommend drinking it in the morning because it's going to help you to relax. It's a really, really great tea for relaxation. If you go down, it will tell you, and I'm going to show you some of these. So all of these, you got anti-stress. So aswana is very good for stress. You also have the turmeric one as well. So there's different ones you can take. But aswana is very, very good for stress and very, very good for antioxidants. And it definitely helps with calmness that you get. So I recommend if you take this, then I would recommend you taking it either at night before you go to bed, or you can take it in the morning. But it's really up to you. Now this one is from Africa and India. So it's definitely gonna help keep you calm. That's why I said it's best to take this at night. I always say at night. So then you have all of these different other ones, and I'm gonna show you what they are. This one here is a mullein tea. Mullein is good for your respiratory support. It also is good for your lungs, so it's definitely good for that. So if you're someone that wants to keep your lungs healthy, I recommend this tea. That's tea you should use for that. This one is one that is new that no, this is pins and needles. This one is rich in vitamins and antioxidants. I never knew that pine needle tea. That's a first. First time I've ever heard of it, but it helps with antioxidants and rich in vitamins. So that's the first time I've ever heard of that tea. Never seen it before in my life. This one is cantaloupe tea flower. This one supports wellness. And so if you're someone that's about wellness just in general, so say for example you don't have any chronic pain, you don't really have anything wrong, but you want something that's going to support your wellness, that's the way to go. There's more. This one is new. Okay. No, that's this horsetail. This one is, what is this one for? I have no idea. Oh, this is for hair and nails. So if you're someone trying to grow your hair, in other words, strengthen your hair, this tea will be one for you. So if you're someone that's trying to, keep your hair like, you know how they have that in the beauty supply store, that horse mane, that's the name of it. This would be what you would take with it. This is going to strengthen your hair. This is going to keep your hair from a lot of breakage. So that's what that does. Good to know. This one here is goji berries. This one supports kidney health and it boosts energy. So if you drink this tea and then drink the other tea, the one I showed you, the first one, that right there will help you as far as your kidney support. So it is good for your kidneys and for your for energy. So these are just some of the teas that they have, and then there's this one here. This one is sage tea, and this one is rich in antibiotics, Me, yeah, no, not antibiotics. Antioxidants and respiratory support. So you have a lot of different teas, but I'm gonna go back to where I was at. Okay, hold on. So this tea that I got right here is basically for helping you to relax. So that's the tea that I bought. And this one is not, this one's basically for relaxation and for stress. The next one thing that I bought that's gonna help. This right here is a body wash, and this is Dr. Teal's. Now, this is a day and nighttime body wash. So you would use one in the morning and one at night. And what it does, let's see. This one is promotes glowing, youthful skin. It's got shea butter, aloe vera, vitamins, helps hydrate your skin and cleanse the skin. This one here is helps calm the mind for a good night's sleep. That's why I bought it. So if you use that and you use some Epsom salt, honey, you're gonna sleep like a baby. Because they also have the Epsom salt as well. I think I got the Epsom salt down there. But yeah, if you put that in a bath and take a bath and use that body wash, I'm telling you, you're gonna sleep like a baby. So y'all probably thinking, why would I buy this? Health and wellness reasons. The next thing that I bought, this tea a lot of people don't know about. This is sour sop. This is good for, what is this? I forgot. Hold on. Let's see. It doesn't say what it does. Hold on. Let's see. I'm trying to see what it is. Hold on. It normally will tell me what it is, but it's not. Okay, I'll tell you what I know about this. Sour salt, there was a woman on TikTok that talked about this and what it does. And I said I was going to try it to see, but hold on, I'm going to tell you just a second what it is. Give me 1 second. Okay, here it is. Sour salt. The benefits of it is it contains antioxidants, which promotes arterial health and acts as a vasodilator. So it's also helps when it comes to blood pressure management. Hold on, let me see if I can go on there and look at the pictures because let me look at the benefits. That just tells me what it is. Okay. The benefits of it is okay, here it is. It says antioxidants contains many antioxidants including vitamin C and protects against health conditions and environment damage. Okay. So pretty much what this does is it helps you when it comes to your health and keeping you healthy. It also, when it comes to cancer, that it has an anti-cancer property. It helps with immunity and it strengthens the immune system. Potassium. This is very high in potassium. It's important for muscle contraction and blood pressure regulations. It has caper, which is needed for the red blood cells formation, iron metabolism, and more. Fiber is high in fiber. Inflammation, it reduces inflammation. Diabetics, it helps to treat diabetes by the inhibitor enzymes that causes it, and gastro ulcers. So it also helps with treating ulcers as well. So this was definitely a benefit when it comes down to it's definitely a benefit, absolutely. So that's why I bought it. So I told you everything I bought was for a reason. All right. So the next thing that I bought is this here. This is a food track journal, 90-day meal pocket. You can carry it with you. So let's say you go out to eat. You can carry this with you with a pencil or a pen, and you can keep track of all of everything you eat, your calories, everything. So I love this because, as you can see here, you can write in it. So I would recommend using a pencil because if you want to use it again, you can just erase it and just start over. But it's a 90-day meal. It just keeps up with your calories. It keeps up with your weight. It keeps up with everything. So it's a journal. Um, and like I said, you can put it in your pocket. It's very small. And as you can see here, your food, your drinks, your calories, your water, your daily calorie totals. I don't know what the other ones are. I have no idea. But I'll have to find out. Over here, you have your all of that, your foods, your drinks. So what you drank pretty much that day, and that's pretty much what it looks like and what that is. So this is definitely gonna come in handy for those of you that are on your weight loss journeys. This will definitely, absolutely benefit you. Let's see. The next thing I bought is, of course, prebiotics and probiotics. And this helps with digestive and immunity. And this is gluten, dairy, and soy free. And it doesn't, as far as, another thing I look at too when I buy something, being that I have allergies. Okay, let me go back here. Here, this is everything that's in it. And this is pretty much 9 billion as far as your probiotics and prebiotics. There's the other ingredients that's in it, and that's what you need to look at when you go to the store. You need to look at the other ingredients because some of this stuff you're like, what in the world is this? You're going to have to look it up to see what it is. And there are some apps where you can actually look at the words and it'll tell you exactly what they mean, whether they're good or whether they're bad for you. Also, this is okay, prebiotics, probiotics, and cranberry. Cranberry is very good for probiotics, and it also helps with feminine health. So, for those of y'all who are females in particular, you need to invest in cranberries because cranberries help with your urinary tracts as far as keeping you from having urinary tracts infections, which is great, and that's why you need to get the woman one. This one also promotes vaginal health and urinary health, boosts immune system, promotes healthy gut, and promotes nutrients absorption. Also here, this tells you 70% of your immune system is located in your digestive tract. Our probiotics can interact with the intestine cells to help support your body overall digestive and immune health. Also here it shows, it's a 40-day supply. You take 2 a day. I take 1. Um, this one is constipation and toxic buildup, bad mouth odor, bucket waste, big belly, and indigestion. So this is what it helps with. So I bought that too because I have digestive issues. And that's something that also will help with your weight as well. The last thing that I bought is this here. This is for your kidneys, and you can also use this for your lungs as well. So this is something I would drink during the day, caffeine free, as you can see. And I would drink this light during the day. Okay, and so those milk thigh seeds are good for your kidneys. No additives, and this tells you it's also calming for the soul, which is good. But 0 calories. So this is something that I bought as well. So these are just some of the things that I bought from, some of the things I bought. So I just wanted y'all to see that. So this is why it's important to me as far as my health and wellness, why I buy the things I buy. But if I'm looking for something as far as health wise that's going to help, that's what I look for. So if I'm looking for castor oil, for example, oh yeah. Did I buy these? I thought I did. If I didn't, I'm gonna have to buy them. And then I also have some body scrub that I don't think I bought, but I might have to buy because I forgot to order it. I bought the other stuff, but I didn't buy the body scrub that go with it. The body scrub is gonna be good because after you take a shower and use that body wash, it's gonna make you feel really good. And when you have chronic pain, Epsom salt gonna be your best friend. And you also want something as far as a scrub that's gonna help you as well. But Dr. Teal's is definitely good when it comes to that. They even have the hemp, aka cannabis one as well. That's good for pain. So, like I said, all of these things that you're buying are investments. A lot of y'all sitting up here buying all this stuff that is so unnecessary. You're buying all this stuff that, as far as cars and cribs and all of these things, but you're not even investing in your health and wellness. And that is never a good look. You definitely want to invest in your health and wellness. So that's something that's very important. So even with castor oil and black seed oil, they're very good for you because um, castor oil is definitely good for you because it helps as far as your hair, skin, and nails. It also helps when it comes to your joints as well. So, you want to definitely invest in castor oil. So, and then journaling is also a good thing. While you're going through these journeys that you're going through. Hold on. Sorry, y'all, that's my mom. I'll call back in a minute. But when it comes to your health and wellness, you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself because that is the number one thing you should be spending money on. You should not be spending money on stuff that you can't take with you. Everything you do, everything you buy should be based on your health and wellness. Anything that's going to disrupt your health and wellness in all aspects, you don't need to deal with. Even when it comes to these relationships, that can also irritate your body. So you don't understand how your body feels when you're when you're dealing with toxicity. So when you're dealing with toxic people, your emotions affect your body. And that's why you react the way that you do. Because anytime your emotions are all over the place, that's why you react. That's why y'all put your hands on somebody. Because of the fact of the way you feel. You don't understand that everything you do mentally impacts you physically. Because whatever your thoughts is whatever your mind is going to do. So I want people to understand. I get it. I completely and utterly understand it. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to, whatever it is that you're wanting to do, I need people to understand that. Okay? So your health and wellness is something that is very, very important. So, I have bought mullein leaves. I have bought, the stuff for my kidneys and all of these different things. So I take very seriously what I choose to do. Collagen, biotin, rosemary, all of these things is what I'm doing far as natural products that I'm using. And I have found they do help. Now, mind you, when you introduce your body to something new, it's going to react to it. Why? Because I found out the reason it reacts to it is because of the bacteria and because of all the negative things in your system. And 9 times out of 10, it's not going to want you to try it because it's actually helping your body. But when you take it, you have no idea how many bacteria is in your body and how all these bacteria don't like anything that's going to clear it out. So yeah, you're going to be miserable when you take, cleanses. You're going to be miserable when you take mullein leaf and stuff for kidneys. You're going to feel miserable when you take something that's going to help you calm your nerves, because that's not what these negative things in your body want to do. It wants you to be miserable. It wants your body to be miserable no differently than mentally. So if you're mentally healthy, it don't want you to be physically healthy. So if you think that the devil's not hitting you either way, the devil's gonna hit you mentally and gonna hit you whatever way it's gonna hit you. And physical's even worse. Because when it hits you physically, it is 10 times, it's 100 times worse. Because you can get over divorce, you can get over separation, you can get over grief, but pain physically, you got to take many different things for it to work in one day. So you may have to take joint medication. So collagen is good for nerve, joints, and muscles, but also it helps with skin and nails. You may have to take something for hair growth. You may have to take black seed oil and castor oil at the same time. You may have to take the teas I just showed you. So at the end of the day, you're going to have to pretty much, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do something to be healthy. It's not just taking one thing. But to take things that are herbal to help you is better than taking medication. The goal is to get off of medication completely. The goal is not to be on medication at all. And there are people that have had diabetes that don't have diabetes now because they exercise, they kept their inflammation, their gluten, their cortisone levels down. You got people that are not even on blood pressure medication no more because of the fact they've done what they need to do. Yes, it's painful to exercise. Yes, it's going to be painful to move. But guess what? You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to get up every day and exercise. Every day in the morning, take your mullein leaf. Put it in your tea, the same tea. So if you have aswana tea, you can take your aswana, you can take and put it in there and drink it. You can take in each one and do not do them all at one time. I'll say hour at a time. Don't take them at the same time. Take them within 2 hours apart. Give it time to work. So what you do is 1 week start one, the next week start the other, and then by then you'll be used to all of them. So if you can't chew tablets, so they have drops, you got tablets. But if you determine to be healthy, sometimes you got to take it upon yourself to do your own research and do what works for you. Is it easy? No, it ain't. It's not. Because you're going to feel miserable. Why? Because you're introducing your body to something that's trying to treat it. And anytime you're treating something, you're going to feel miserable. You might even get sick because you're like, wait a minute, I took this medication, I'm sick. That's because the body is healing itself. So you may have a bunch of bacteria in your body. Your insulin may be extremely high. So when you take these things, understand you're going to feel terrible the first couple of days. Why? Because it's something new. And then when you start taking them, then alternate them. And then, after a while, if that brand doesn't work, switch to another. You're going to have to switch things up. The body gets very used to things and very immune to it, or it just don't like it. But at the end of the day, as long as it doesn't cause you an allergic reaction, try what works for you. But those teas, I'm taking each and every one of them. But what I may do is Monday, I might do twice a week one, and then twice a week another, and then alternate back and forth. So I drink 2 teas a day. So at the end of the day, instead of me drinking juices, I drink cranberry juice. I drink zero sugar stuff. So at the end of the day, if you really want to be healthy, that's where your money should go. Your money should go with a roof over your head, a car to drive. You do need those things. But buying all these unnecessary things that don't matter, for what? That's not helping your health and wellness. Being married is not helping your health and wellness. Being in relationships certainly are not helping your health and wellness. Those are luxuries. Those things don't matter. What matters is everything that you bring to you is addition to you. It's to help you. And if it doesn't help you, then leave it alone. I'm a living testament of that. God took me from the world because of the damage, and now I'm dealing with the damage of what has affected and impacted my body. See, mentally, I didn't realize how all of this was affecting me. How the people I was dating, the friends, the family, the jobs, and all of that, how it was impacting me physically. See, being a people pleaser causes way more damage than what you may understand. So, me becoming a life coach, I do things differently because you won't believe what causes these things and what causes addictions, because what you're willing to do for these 12 things, well, 16 things I'm getting ready to say, is why you're damaged. Number one is love, and that's the one everybody hates for me to say. Love. What you're willing to do for love. Like, appreciate, valued, wanted, needed, to be part of something, to be validated, to be approved of, to be accepted, for someone to know your worth, proving something to people, being Captain Save-A-Ho, Build-A-Bear, Build-A-Doll, people pleasers, and seat fillers is why you have addictions. Because what you're willing to do for the things that you like so much, how you want to be approved and validated and all of that, what you're willing to do for it is what's causing your addictions. See, proving something is another way you get addicted to things, because you're trying to prove something by drinking alcohol. You're trying to prove something because you don't want this boy to be with another girl, so you have sex with this person. That's the reason why we're in recovery. Because if we really didn't want these things, would we really be addicted to anything? No. Would we really be influenced by people? No. Because if I wasn't looking for friends, then I wouldn't have to worry about going through none of this stuff. I would be more worried about people that don't know me than people who do. So your addictions don't come from what you think they come from. They come from what you're willing to do for those 16 things I just said. And if you stop, then you won't have the addiction. So, for example, if somebody come to me and says, I want to have sex and I'm celibate, the answer is no. I'm not having sex with you. I'm not married to you. If anything, you need to be celibate. If anything, you don't need to be having sex. So why am I letting this person convince me and I'm the person with the standards? Nope. See, standards is not what somebody look like, how much money they got. That's not standards. That's preference. Standards is I'm not having sex till marriage. Standards is I don't want to do nobody else's drama. Standards is I've worked hard to build myself from the ground up, and you're not going to bring me down. Because you want to know why people bring you down? Because what you're willing to do for love. You should be able to love somebody and not lower yourself. You shouldn't have to lower yourself for nobody. You shouldn't have to be something that you're not to please other people. You shouldn't have to. Why are you? See, this is what happens when God pulls you away from the world. And God says, why are you even trying to be a part of the world? Ain't you a godly person? You ain't supposed to be a part of that. You ain't supposed to be out there fornicating. You ain't supposed to be dressing like these females. You know what you're supposed to be doing? The opposite. The opposite. Because when I started looking back at my life and I asked God to show me the truth, I didn't like it, but guess what? I dealt with it. Hold on. My mother's going to keep calling me. But anyway, before I go, let me just end this by saying this. If y'all would stop wanting other people's approval, if y'all would get away from society standards, you'd be a whole lot healthier. Seriously. Because it's not just about what you eat. It's about what you consume in general. Because whatever you consume and what you choose to acknowledge, there is a reaction to that. For every action, there's a reaction. So you can sit here all day long and talk about me like a dog. I'm going to look at you like you're crazy and say, are you done? Do you feel better saying all these things about me? You can expose whatever you want to about me at this point because I am mentally unbreakable. You can't break me mentally in any capacity. If a man cheat on me, there's no walk yourself out of it. Don't get me wrong. I will cry about it. I have every right to cry about it. But I'm going to deal with my emotions before I deal with you. I am not dealing with nobody and I have emotions. Absolutely not. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to cry. And then I'm going to think back to why I didn't see the signs, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. And the only thing that I'm going to do is break things off. I'm not having a conversation with that person. I don't want to have a conversation because I already know why you did what you did. You did what you did because you wanted to do it, not because you had to, but because you wanted to. You had no regard for me. You had no regard for my feelings. If somebody takes something from me in 2024, you can have it. Because if I really wanted it that bad, you wouldn't be able to touch it. But then again, you can have it because I would rather you take it than me lose my life. That can be replaced. My life cannot. And because I fight for my life the way I do, is why now I am a godly person. I've always been a godly person. But now I want nothing to do with the secular world at all. I want nothing to do with any of that. I want nothing to do with society standards. And that is why I come as I am. The reason you don't see me because it's not about what I look like, it's about what I'm saying. I'm not worried about having 10,000 followers. I'm not worried about none of that. What I care about is the people that are meant for me. God put me as a vessel to help people. And God led me to recovery. And now I'm a recovery life coach. And how I help I don't even call them patients. I call them family. I help family. I'm y'all family to me. Because the same way I would care about my family, the same way I care about y'all. The same way I try to get my dad to stop eating the stuff he eating, the same way I'm gonna help you. Because if you really want to lose the weight, you'll lose the weight. And do not lose weight because you want to be a part of society standards. Lose weight because that's what you want to do. See, if you stop trying to live in society standards and say, you know what, I'm losing weight for health reasons only. I am doing what I'm doing for me. I'm not no longer going to be society standards. If I want to be pretty, I'm pretty for me. I'm not wearing makeup because makeup is unhealthy. Okay? I don't wear makeup except eyeshadow, lipstick. That's it. Excuse me. I have acid reflux at that. But anyway, I'm not going to sit up here and be perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I don't want to be society standards of beauty. I don't want to be none of that because I've learned that's demonic. Society standards of beauty is demonic. God's standard of beauty is my spirit, my aura, my energy. And the one thing you're not doing is messing with my energy. The one thing you're not going to do is put my light down. Because everybody can walk away from me, which has happened. Because when you're a godly person, as soon as you can't do for somebody, they take away your light. They suck the life out of you and then leave you for dead. And you remember in Black Panther what happened when Killmonger, they thought he was dead? His own enemy is the one that actually found him and treated him. And what happened? He gave himself time to heal. He gave himself time to exercise. And even though Wakanda was going through what it was going through, he didn't come back until he was ready. And that's the same thing I'm telling y'all. Don't go back into the world until you're ready to face it. Until you're able to get in that world and not be a part of it, but still be in it, then get into the world. Don't get into the world as a godly person because you're going to constantly be damaged. You're going to constantly be hurt. You're going to constantly be abused. And you're going to end up saying, what's wrong with me? Ain't nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are a godly person. You are going to be crucified. You are going to be hurt. You're going to be a lot of things. But you got to build yourself to the point of titanium. You got to build yourself to the point where nobody can hurt you based on the words that come out their mouth. That even if you lose a job, even if you lose it all, you know what? That's all right. God got me. If nobody else got you, God got you. And you sit still. And while you alone, you enjoy your blessings because they're coming to you. Because God will hold your blessings until you get rid of all the people who are basically sucking the life out of you. So if you wonder now why you ain't where you need to be, because the people around you are holding you back. The reason you're going through pain mentally, because you're letting your emotions guide you in the wrong direction. Point blank, period. That's why. So you don't let nobody make you feel less than what you are. So yeah, physically, I may not be where I need to be, but I wish you would try to come at me mentally. I take the 48 laws of power very seriously, and that's exactly how I deal with people. 48 laws of power. I don't care if you stay. I don't care if you go. I'll love you when you're here, and I will let you go when you leave and have no emotions at all towards you. Because after I cry, I have absolutely no emotion towards you. I will love you the way that God loves me when I have sinned. But the one thing I'm not going to do is ever deal with you. There is a light at the end of the tunnel of every negative situation you go through. But you got to stop following rabbits down the rabbit hole. You got to stop being a part of things that are going to suck you in and have you right back in Wonderland. You know how many people don't follow rabbits down the rabbit hole and end up in Wonderland and never got out? And how many people get out and you still go down there? You go right back down to Wonderland. I don't know why y'all go back down there, but some reason you go down there. So when I started learning recovery, and thanks to Miss Trisha, and I love her. Thanks to Miss Trisha. She don't even know how much she helped me. When I was going after a sex cult and I was being attacked and bullied and harassed and stalked and doxxed and all of these negative things, it was Miss Trisha that got me through that, and she don't even realize that. She don't. She still don't know how much I appreciate her. If it wasn't for me meeting her, I would not be the life coach I am right now sitting in front of y'all. She didn't understand what my vision was as a life coach, and I'm okay with that. I am. Because our definitions of recovery is different. And that's because I'm not a drug addict. But all of that stems from some 16 things I said. If you let go of that, and instead of looking for those things, let God bring it to you. Let God bring your husband. Let God bring your friends. Let God bring you what you pray for. But understand, the devil hears your prayers too. The devil hears your prayers too. So being that the devil hears your prayers, the devil can bring you a wolf in sheep's clothing that you don't even know is there. That will turn around and suck the life out of you. It will. So what I want people to understand is recovery is not your time. It's not my time. It's however long it takes. But as a life coach, I will be there with you through every step of the way. But I will have you where you can be in this world and be alone and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And sit still when you need to sit still. When God says sit still, sit still. When God says move, then you move. But you don't move until God tells you to move. So even though right now I can't drive right now, even though I'm going through medical issues, guess what? I'm sitting still. I'm waiting. Even though I don't have a man right now, even though I'm not married, guess what? I'm sitting still. Even though I go through pain every day, I still get up. Because I'm not letting this pain define me. Because all I look at it is demonic forces trying to keep me down because they don't want me to do God's work. That's how I look at pain. I look at pain as the same way when Jesus was crucified and beaten and all of those things. If Jesus can get through all of that and resurrect from the dead, so can I. So my whole entire life coaching is about that. Resurrecting from the dead. Being able to be crucified, not say two words, let them say whatever they're going to say. And then what you do, you heal from that. You let go of that old version of yourself. And then you resurrect a new person. That is what my life coaching is about. People resurrecting from the dead. Because every time you go through something painful, every time you go through Every time you go through adversity, every time you go through something negative, a part of you is going to die. But a new version of you needs to resurrect. You need to grow, evolve, and elevate from everything that you go through, including pain. You don't let none of this stand in the way of your greatness. You don't let none of this stand in the way for what God has in store for you. And you walk the path that God has put you on, and Jesus, or whatever your religion is, whatever your spirituality is, and you let it lead you. You don't let none of these individuals lead you off the path that God put you on. You don't let none of these negative people, I don't care how much fun they're having. I don't care what it is that they're doing. You don't get involved in that. Stay on the path that God put you on. If God says close your legs and be a virgin, close your legs and be a virgin, point blank, period. Stay on the path that God put you on. Because God is going to bring the people in your world that's going to help you through what you're going through. All you got to do is believe and continue to pray and continue to have a relationship with him. Continue to learn, to grow, evolve, elevate, intellect, educate yourself, and be knowledgeable. Weigh the pros and cons of every situation you go through. Understand the consequences and repercussions and karma to your actions. And that's how you're going to get through it. But you don't let nobody, and I mean nobody, take your life. You don't let nobody make you feel less than what you are and lower your self-esteem, self-worth, and self-value. You don't let nobody influence you to do something that goes against your freedom of choice and your free will. Y'all want people to control you. You want people to lower you. Every day I see people lowering themselves because of marriage. They lower themselves for love. They lower themselves for them 16 things I just said. And you're lowering yourself for what? What is the prize of it all? What is the prize of getting married to somebody that's going to put their hands on you? What's the point of being friends with somebody that's going to lead you to jail or unaliving somebody, manipulating and bamboozling, being a wolf in sheep's clothing, boring girl to cry wolf, sirens, vampires, snakes, Jezebels, succubus, and harlots? You're going to encounter those people. You're going to encounter the big bad wolf. You're going to encounter little pig, let me in, not by the hair of my chin, chin, chin. Little pig, let me in, not by the hair of my chin, chin, chin. Well, I'm a huff and puff and blow your house down. Well, guess what? You're going to be huffing and puffing for a good little while because you ain't coming in here. I don't care what you do. You ain't coming in here. I don't care what you say. It doesn't change who I am as a person. And that's not the person that I am now. So you can bring my past all day long. I don't care because it ain't going to affect or impact me in any way, shape, form, or fashion because it just ain't. I stand 10 toes down. I stand on what I say and I practice what I preach. So yeah, I'm going through pain every single day physically. But mentally, you are not going to make me go through anything that I don't want to go through. Absolutely not. If I want to do something, I ain't going to do it, and I'm not going to feel pressured to do it. I'm not lowering my standards. No, I ain't doing none of that. Hold on. So, y'all, my mother's going to keep calling me until I talk to her. So, I'm sorry, y'all, but the phone calls, I don't know how to edit on Spreaker just yet. I do apologize, y'all. So, let me go call my mother and see what she wants, because I know she loves me and she wants to talk to me. So, anyway, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Without y'all, there's no me. I'd be absolutely nothing without y'all. But I hope this video and this radio podcast gives y'all very much inspiration when it comes to your health and wellness. That should be the number one thing. That should be the most important. It don't matter whether somebody loves you, likes you, appreciates, values, want it, need it, whatever. The point is, you love yourself. Anything that causes damage to you, anything that's going to impact and affect you, anything where the consequences, repercussions, and karma is going to end bad, don't do it. It ain't worth it. And if more people had the mentality that I have right now, a lot of people wouldn't be putting up with a lot of things they're putting up with. Again, your health and wellness is the most important thing. You have one life. It's not about everybody else. It's about you and what your happiness is and what your joy is and what it is that you choose to do. When you were a kid, that was one thing because you didn't know no better. But as an adult, you can't keep going through the same things you did as a kid. It's one thing when it was your parents because those are the people that gave birth to you. But everybody else, absolutely not. You do not have to go through this with other people because you don't. It's one thing to respect people, but it's a whole other thing to go through things that you don't want to go through that's unnecessary. Okay? So with that being said, speaking of mothers, I got to call mine. So I'm going to call her. And I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Y'all been rocking with me on this podcast for 2 years, since 2016. And I've been going through a lot medically. But you know what? Y'all been riding with me until the sun come home. So before I leave, let's end this with a prayer. Heavenly Father, please bless anybody and everybody on this channel and on this podcast that is listening to this podcast. May their health and wellness, regardless of what they're going through as far as chronic pain, may they be able to have the strength every day to just do a little, if not much. May each person turn their pain into a triumph, turn their pain into a strength, turn their pain into a part of them that they learn to live with, to continue to find answers, even though the doctors do not give them answers, in order to find their answers on their own, to continue to work hard to overcome the adversities and the pain and the suffering that they're going through. Millions of people, Lord, is dying every day because of stuff that could have been treated a long time ago. And because people were not getting proper treatment is why they're passing away. May each person that's still on this earth has a purpose. May you help them to find the answers as far as their health issues to be able to be healthy and well. And may you forgive every person that listens to this channel and this podcast for their sins, for they are repenting for their wrongs, including myself. May you continue to cover us from negative people in a negative world that is causing chaos. May those of us who don't belong in society standards understand that it's okay not to be a part of society standards. And may you continue to make me a vessel of helping people when it comes to recovery as a life coach, helping people when it comes to not only coming back to you, but also coming back to themselves and being a new version of themselves, as well as being able to be into this world without feeling like they have to be a part of it. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, y'all. I think that's it for me. I am going to go now. And I love y'all. I appreciate y'all again. Y'all been rocking with me, and I'm so eternally grateful. So let me call my mother and see what she wants, because I know it's something. Because she probably wants to call and check on her child. I'm some hours away from her. So that being said, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Without y'all, there is no me. I'll be nothing without y'all. So until next time, we will talk later. And next week, we will talk about going through some things that far as herbal things that will be good as far as helping you through your journeys, as far as your health journeys, for those of you going through illnesses, diseases, and chronic pain, those of you that are suffering as far as health wise, helping to help you find the answers that you're going to need to get better and become a new and better person. And hopefully through this podcast, I hope it helps millions of people to know you're not alone. There are people out there just like you. And that's why I wanted to build a community, because I wanted a community of people that are going through the same thing as me, finding answers just like me, that don't know what's wrong and can't figure out how to fix it. So I'm hoping this podcast helps a lot of people. I really do. So that being said, I will see you guys next Sunday. And I will be regular scheduled time. I promise I will be. But I just wasn't feeling well today. But I'm glad y'all still rock with me. Y'all still check out the podcast. You still listen to it. And I'm truly blessed. With that being said, I will see you guys later. Bye. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, and notification button. And for those of y'all who want to come live, by all means, I would love to have you. So with that being said, we'll talk later. Bye.